Today's going to be an update to the tool trailer video that I made a while back. This is my 16-foot tandem axle with drop gate in the back. I come in, I don't think I had the dolly on there last time. That's come in pretty handy, moving a lot of cabinets, a few things. Got the floor jack right here, spare tire over here, another one hidden inside. Kind of out of the way because according to my best friend I can't drive a wheelbarrow, and I've hit about 4 curbs that required a flat tire change going away to a job. So as soon as you come in here, some tape measures, quick grab items, your blades, tack pack if you cut yourself. It'll be a pretty bad cut. Tourniquet if it's even worse cut. Your levels. Again, in here got a job site fan with the stand behind it. Trash can with rollers. That's a foldable table there. It's just some random junk left over from a job and my sons that don't know how to hang their tool belts up. Over here I got a quick grab electrical bag. I have a more in-depth electrical bag that I keep in the truck. A couple new additions: 60 volt 8.5 inch table saw, 20 volt 12-inch slider. That replaced my 7 1/4. I've got to say I do like the 7 1/4 much better for a grab and go because that is heavy. If you're going to make that a mounted saw and just working areas not having power, it's fine. But for a grab and go saw, it's a little heavy. Flooring cutter back here. Work light, speaker for my boys that like to have the aux, as the new kids say it. Cordless air compressor, fan if I need some quick ventilation. Locker's got some extra clothes, few things in it. Again, the refrigerator here. Keep waters, a couple emergency beers in there for the long days. Rag cleanup items. Gas mask has been pretty handy. Picked it up at a surplus military store. Does really well in the attics with insulation. And then also if you got a lot of drywall dust in an area that you can't ventilate, it does well. Microwave. A lot of folks like the pool noodle that I put in there to keep the glass from rattling and breaking. So we're 2 years in or better, still working just fine. First aid kit up there. That's a spray nozzle for the newer style glue that you put on subfloor. And that is a 50 caliber handgun bullet that a buddy of mine let me shoot his gun, and I kept the brass, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to use it some way. So just kind of helps hold that up there. For lighting, just got 6-inch can lights in here, but I also put in some of these lights, 4 of these that run off of a DeWalt battery here. So we can see how that goes. Come over here to my battery selection. Not sure how many I have, but sometimes it still doesn't seem like enough because, again, with my sons, they don't always know how to put stuff on a charger. So I'll grab a quick battery. Plug that in, turn off my shore power light, and then I put it on a rocker switch, 12 volt standard. So pretty bright, especially with the door shut. It's almost as good as the 6-inch can lights, and it's running the DeWalt battery, so I have plenty of power when I need it. Then we'll come over here. In this area here, I've got canopy, one of the bigger DeWalt drop lights. Behind that is the stand to this miter and a 4-foot track for my track saw. My 10-foot track is up here, and I've just got that in. This is a piece of angle that you would see for finishing tile edges. So I just turned that upside down, screwed it up, and then used some plastic tubing with a little bit of tension there. And everything's held fine. I don't ever have anything laying in the floor when I get to a job site. And my big boy hammer drill here used to be a Hilti. It burned up on me, so I switched to Metabo. Pro Press, track saw. My corded 12-inch slider with a work platform. That's the stand for the table saw, and then a water hose if we're doing any type of concrete type stuff. In this DeWalt tool chest here, just a bunch of random quick grab stuff: pencils, squares, plumb bobs. I've got a rivet gun in there if I'm doing any type of soffit work or drop ceiling. Extra headlamps, batteries, staplers if I need a hammer tacker for insulation. Over here, got some extra pneumatic fittings. I do have some chainsaw tools in there. Every now and then we're doing demo. Chainsaw's just a little faster, so I started putting that stuff on. Some socket wrenches, or socket sets, deep well, and then just plenty of extra blades. And then, of course, my sanding discs here. Up in this longer section here, I used to have my canopy up there, but I needed to grab it more often, just for rainy days or excessively sunny days. So now I have my jacks up there that do cabinets. They extend up to 8 foot. I've even used them for doing some beam work before. Rolls of paper, plastic, just a bunch of quick grab things, and my tripods for my lasers. And then miscellaneous fasteners, transit belt sander, a lot of electrical boxes and junction boxes, wire nuts, different things. Several spools of wire that I've got in here. I try to keep a lot so I don't have to leave and go to the hardware store. So some 12 gauge, a little bit armored. Some of my 14 gauge, a bunch of plumbing stuff. In here, all my digging tools and my extendable ladder. Rigid wet tile saw. Thing is fantastic compared to other tile saws I've used. A lot of them have other features that I liked, like the laser that this one has as well, but there's far less slop and travel in this base. So for cutting true, laying it on 45s, it's just a fast, quick, highly accurate saw. And I had an issue with the pouch pump, or the spout for the pump breaking, and I called Rigid. Customer service was fantastic, so I'm pretty happy with that. Up here, all my extensions for painting, broom cleanup, regular 6-foot ladder, and then in here, tool belt, a bunch of extension cords, 60-volt DeWalt blower, bolt cutters if I'm doing any of the wire shelving in closets, the stand for my table saw, coil gun for picket fence nailing. Got that job going tomorrow for my brother. Air compressor, hoses. Corded 10-inch DeWalt table saw. The thing's absolutely fantastic. And then back here I've got one of those wheeled magnets that you run around the job site when you're done pick up nails. A bunch of random storage things here. I like the rigid cases because they have the clear tops. So I keep all my Tapcons, quick grabs, but all my plumbing fittings, so I know if I'm doing PEX, if I'm doing the Pro Press, whatever, or if I just need to grab some breakers, sockets. Label makers come in pretty handy for a lot of electrical work. Got to have the torque wrench for electrical specs when you're working in your breaker boxes, and especially when you're putting in your bigger wire or your larger breakers, they call for torque spec settings. The bottom half of my toolbox, had to split it up just so I could get it open. But it worked out well for balancing the weight in the trailer. So drill bits, a bunch of different things. I keep it locked when I'm traveling. And again, I've never had any issues. So open this up. These are pretty handy. These type of bits when you're drilling through brick or block. That runs off the SDS Plus that I have. You can get them for the SDS Max also. I just don't need them for that. If you're doing gas line work or penetrations to run new service into a house through masonry, those bits work well. Over here, call this guy Cadillac Jack. I really like that one. That is a deck screw gun that is semi-automatic. So you put in your strip screws here and you get the stand upright while you're screwing off deck boards. Really cuts the time down. I would say it saves you at least 75% of your time you'd be on your knees running screws by hand. 18 gauge nailer, 16 gauge finish nailer, framing nailer. I call this my BFD for big fat drill. I don't think that's what the F stands for. D. It does really well for running hole saws through joists, and then if I need to mix mud, I use it as a mud mixer as well. Here I've got a coiled roofing nailer, 20 volt. All this is 20 volt. I've got cable stapler, a 20 volt blower. That's pretty good for the smaller jobs, but I prefer to use the 60 volt because it gets done faster. Router, cut-off tool, we use that a lot for tile. I've got the 20 volt heat gun, does really well for heat shrink. And occasionally if I need to get some soldering done, if I'm doing any 12 volt stuff, I can use it on that. Sander, 2 oscillators. Be surprised how often we needed 2 oscillators on the job. Jigsaw, and then my rotary cutout for drywall, grinder, and then all these are held on, almost all of them, with that style. It just snaps right into the battery grooves. There. The cordless caulking gun, flashlight. I've got 4 impacts. The newest ones that I switched to were the hydraulic. Really like those. They're super quiet and they don't have the vibration and hit in your hand that you feel with the standard impacts. A lot softer on the feel, so if you're starting to get some carpal tunnel or arthritis, that's pretty common in our line of work, then you'll see that will help quite a bit. I've got 2 half-inch drills, 1 hammer, 1 regular, half-inch impact for changing those flats I mentioned. This is a fencing stapler. Have never used it, but it's like a $760 staple gun, and I happened to see a clearance deal for less than $200, and I couldn't help but buy it. Maybe one day I'll use it. Reciprocator, 2 drywall screw guns. Again, those are nice because they're collated and they run the strip screws. The newer style has this belt hook here, but they also come with the metal belt hooks, which is what I've got hanging on the wall with. I like the newer style gun because you just hit the trigger one time and you don't have to hold the trigger anymore. When you push into the drywall, that action actuates the motor, and it automatically begins driving your screws for you. It's very nice. 18 gauge stapler, so that does pretty well if I'm building cabinets or anything like that for sheet goods. Pin nailer, really like this for leaving the small holes. Holes are so small that you can paint right over them, and it seems to do fairly well. Bandsaw. And I think that is, I've got a 20 volt vacuum down here. Strip screws, a bunch of fasteners. I keep fasteners for everything on here. I've got my dish soap that I mix in with drywall mud. It just makes it a little smoother, keeps the bubbles out. Spray adhesive. Occasionally we'll use that for putting our corner tape on when doing drywall. I like that pretty well. WD-40, keeping my locks loose when the weather turns cold. And I think that is just about it for the tool trailer upgrades that I've made.